Good morning to you, our audience. Ted and Ed TV channel welcome each of you to our weekly Saturday broadcast where we give insightful views on economic, political, world, and environmental issues concerning how money connects those matters. Our hosts, Mr. Ted Harvey Sr. and Mr. Edward Bishop III, are now taking each of you into our world of money and its value, along with the evils that come from the greed of hoarding financial power. He that controls the gold controls the important decisions in this world.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Ted and Ed TV show. Welcome. Wow, man, this is such a day, man. I mean, a lot of stuff going on in the country, Ed. I mean, a lot, all over the world, really, man. But it's just amazing. How you doing this morning, Ed?
Hey, good morning, my people. Good morning. Good morning. I've been up for a while. Mr. Harvey called me, texted me this morning and said, let's get an early start here. So we're getting a few minutes start and everything. Now we spent about 45 minutes getting ready for our show to make sure that we have a lot of things for our audience to absorb. And we have a lot of stuff that we want to talk about here and everything. I'm looking at my list of topics here that we are talking about, and they're wide, they're variable, and they are dealing with a lot of things that are going on out there in our country and in the world.
Yeah, and one of the things that we really need to talk about here, because it's on the foremost of everyone's mind, is the hurricane. The hurricane is devastating, man. I mean, it is. I mean, it's wiping out a lot of people, you know, and right now they've already reported 5 deaths because the people didn't want to leave, and you know, for whatever reason. However, you know, it's a lot of things of devastation, and of course, property and land and people's businesses and homes. But one thing for sure that we were talking about earlier is they have a major problem there in North Carolina. Probably, obviously, you know, it's going on, and North Carolina is a big hog industry. And that's where a lot of, you know, people, you know, do their pork, and they had all of these hog farmers that's there, and they're having problems there. I mean, this is going to be a big problem for that state because of all the flooding and what's going on there with that. Because those hogs, they had what they call as a waste, or they put their waste uh, in these, I guess you would call them ponds, and when they put that waste in there, then they put chemicals in there to try to keep the smell down, and all kinds of chemicals and what have you. Those things now will be flooded, and it's going to spread all over their state, all over the place, you know, all going through people's neighborhoods and what have you. And all of those chemicals with that waste material and everything, that can cause a lot of damage to the water system. It can cause a lot of damage to humans, obviously, because of, you know, you're talking about, you know, possibly diseases and chemical waste and all that kind of stuff. So the hurricane not only is first is devastating to the property, but it's also devastating to the land as well, because of all of this waste and chemicals that's going to be flooding all through their community.
And the problem and stuff is, Ted, is that no one has talked about or even thought about uh, those things that you just talked about, because their main concern and stuff at the beginning of this whole process was making sure that people were safe, getting the people and stuff away from these coastlines, off of these islands and stuff that are sitting on like Cape Hatteras and all that. And they're trying to get these people and stuff saved. And I guess they are looking at those additional problems that you just brought up and everything as an afterthought, because they consider people's lives and stuff more important than everything. But after all the rain goes away and that hurricane leaves and those tropical storms and stuff leave the state and everything, and people start coming back into their homes or whatever, that is going to be a big problem and stuff and everything for them, along with the fact that these people's homes and stuff are destroyed. Because when you're talking about about not inches, but feet of water. They're talking about rain and stuff that bring in 2 feet of water, 4 feet of water. And that surge that came through there that brought all that water and stuff there. So most of these people's properties and stuff there, and that right there in North Carolina on that coast coming all the way in almost to Charlotte is just devastated. And it's going to create billions and billions and billions of dollars.
They've already calculated it's going to be more than 60 billion.
Hey, and it might be more than that. You know, it might be one of the worst places it was, worse than Andrew did in Florida and stuff back in the 2000s and stuff and everything. 1992, I guess, Hurricane Andrew came through there, man, and devastated Florida, man. It tore the whole place up, and they spent hundreds of billions of dollars and everything to get that place back together because of that storm. And this thing right here might even be as bad or worse because you have to allow those rivers and stuff and everything to recede and the water to go away before you can get people to come in there and just look at their homes and stuff and see what's going on.
Well, think about this though, Ed, you know, I mean, we understand, you know, everybody understands, you know, the homes is going to be devastated and all of that. But still, it's going to be, a lot of people are going to be coming back to their homes and thinking that they can get it back together and all that. But when you've had all of that fecals and chemicals all through your home and everything, you got to go back in there and live in that thing, you know, and you don't know what kind of, for those people that's going to be affected, how that's going to affect them down the line. And then you got a lot of these hog farmers. What did they do with those pigs, those hogs? What did they do with them? Did they ship them out like they did to people, or what? Or you know, we're talking hundreds of thousands of them.
No, you're talking millions. You ain't no 100,000. You're talking millions, Ted. There's not 100,000. You're talking millions of hogs.
So you know, and you know, that right there is another thing, because some of them are going to walk away from them, and then they just going to be floating through, you know, and you know, pigs are. This is a disgusting animal, man. I mean, you know, I don't know what's going on, how that's going to happen. You know, nobody's, reporting on all the devastation going to do to the animals. And I'm sure if they're doing hogs, they're probably doing chicken farms too. They probably got major chicken farms there too as well. So, you know, one thing that I did want to bring up too, another thing, because that's gonna affect food products, you know, and another thing that's happening with the hogs in China, they have what they call the African flu have attacked their hogs. China is a big hog industry as well. And so they're having problems now throughout their country dealing with these hogs because of some reason. So, you know, maybe God is telling us something. We shouldn't be eating pork. I don't know what's going on there.
But you're right. Pork is a major part of the Chinese diet, and almost everything they eat is pork related. So they import a lot of hogs and everything, and they also grow hogs and stuff inside their country and everything.
Yeah.
So the importation of hogs, and then they already have hog farms and stuff there and everything to satisfy their population. Because if you got over 1 billion people and stuff, and a major portion of their diet are pork,
pork and rice,
and it's every day. It's not something that they do once a week. They eat this stuff every day. So you have to have a huge amount of hogs coming in to satisfy that palate and everything that they have. So and they do import a lot of our U.S. pork and everything.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's been one of their problems that Trump has dealt with and everything with this tariff thing, that he is creating a problem there with the tariffs, and we don't know what the Chinese going to do and stuff as far as the pork coming into their country that they're importing into their country, and how they're going to add a tariff and everything to that pork. And that's something that they probably going to be looking at very, very closely and stuff and everything, because that product being a major part of their diet and everything, and we could create a big problem and stuff for the cost and stuff of people eating and stuff there in that country. But also, Ted, everyone is pinpointing themselves on what this hurricane and stuff is doing, and now it's turned into a tropical storm. But there's 2 other hurricanes, Ted, right out
Yep.
there in the Atlantic
Mm-hmm.
that's coming in behind Florence.
Yep.
And right now, they don't know where those 2 things are going.
That's right.
So we probably are not through with this devastation that these hurricanes and stuff is going to be called, creating this hurricane season. And they've already started early, and hurricane season is not over up until I think somewhere around November, I would guess. I don't know.
December.
Yeah. So, and we have no idea what they bring in, and this is like a phenomenon that is unheard of, having hurricanes and typhoons and stuff. Yeah, and out in both oceans. Usually it's either in the Atlantic Ocean or in the Pacific Ocean. Now it's in both of them. They just had a typhoon that came through the Philippines and already heading up into China and everything. So, and then they had another hurricane and stuff, I guess, that's going by Hawaii there again. Yep. So, and this is the second one that they've had. So it's people are denying climate change and everything, but climate change is a real problem and stuff out there. And I have no idea how these people who are denying climate change, deniers and stuff and everything, is able to justify them saying that climate change is not here. And,
well, the thing is, people are denying that all of these different chemicals that's going up in the air is not affecting the climate, which we know that, chemicals that go up in the air, you can't really see them. Just like you can't see, when you was in high school, you learned about how clouds were made, and basically clouds came from what? Came from the precipitation of the earth, and it just came up, and then it starts forming up clouds. So that's the reason why people plant trees, because trees give off oxygen. You have grass that gives off oxygen. So those things are constantly, giving out good, clean air. When you have it on, when you got it on your grass, you got all kinds of plant matter and what have you. So now when you allow those chemicals to go into certain parts of the land, what's going to go up? Those chemicals going to go up, and they're going up into the sky, just like the regular precipitation from the earth. So to me, it just makes it, what you're doing is you're letting all of these gases go up into the air, because you got millions and millions of cars that's on the road. You got millions and millions of all kinds of other things that hurts the actual what's going on up in the sky, and it affects us in the long run. And then the thing about it, the one thing they said, that what is problem, because the oceans are too warm. What is causing that? That's what I'd like to know. What is causing that? See, and so I'm not a scientist. I should talk to my son, because he's a meteorologist, and find out why is these ice glaciers and all of those things are really melting, and what is causing that? And it has to be something that we're giving off, because we're selling more cars. You got these diesel trucks running around. You got all of this. And that's the reason why I say that the movement of the electric, I guess, would be probably a good thing. Electric cars. I mean, you can't drive as far. And cars with batteries and that type of thing. So, and main thing is, I think I'm going back to that mass transportation.
Well, what's actually going on, Ted? They all those emissions that we're putting out are destroying the ozone. The ozone layer and stuff up there is what protects us from the rays of the sun. And if you start destroying that ozone layer, then it allows the sun to break through into our atmosphere and everything, and create more heat. So with the temperatures and stuff rising because of the ozone layer that's being destroyed, that's what's causing those glaciers and everything to start to melt. And we're seeing that and stuff happen. And if you go, and if some of the audience and stuff go to some of these programs like the Discovery Channel and stuff like that, they do have documentaries and stuff on these glaciers and stuff that are breaking free and stuff from the North and the South Pole, the Arctic and the Antarctic. And they're showing and stuff the devastation that is happening, and we don't see it. So if we don't see it, then most of the time you don't believe it. So none of us have been to the Antarctic, and none of us have been to the Arctic. But the people who are in those areas and stuff see it, and those scientists are seeing it. So they know that there is a correlation between this climate change thing and the ozone layer and what's going on and stuff in our country, well, in the world. So anyway, we got some other stuff we need to talk about too, Ted, and that's what, Thursday, Friday?
Yes.
Paul Manufort,
Woo!
one of the other
he flipped.
One of Trump's campaign chairmen and everything for Trump has flipped over now and everything. He avoided a trial starting Monday. And he went head on and started talking to Mueller's team about these crimes and stuff that he has committed and how, and some information that Mueller is gathering about the Russians and stuff and how they have used the Trump campaign to become involved in stuff in our election. And right now, for the last 5 or 6 months and stuff and everything, Trump and Giuliani and the Fox News folks and stuff, their little mantra was no collusion, no collusion, no collusion. Well, well, it looks like their no collusion statements and stuff has quietly stopped.
It should be chanting treason, treason, treason.
Treason.
Hey,
check
this out though, Ed. Think about this, man. What was the guy's name that said greed is good? You remember that movie Wall Street?
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of his name, but he's a real life character. Huh?
Capriano?
No. But that wasn't him. But anyway, the guy said greed is good. Manafort took that to heart. He took that to heart, bro.
Well, a whole lot of them have been taking it to heart. He's just a small player here. Go ahead.
When you say small player, because, you're right. He is a small player because, $16, $20 million ain't no money.
No money.
Not today. Not today. And then he went buck wild on his spending like crazy, like he was a billionaire instead of he borrowed all that money and what did he do? And he bought all these properties and he wanted to live like a billionaire. So greed is not good, and then, I'm just saying, come on, man. Some people, got to have a conscience. Even Cohen, he said, I got to put my country first. Well, maybe he said that because he had got caught.
He got caught. He did. I mean, that's because they had already raided him, and he was looking for his buddy Trump to save him, and he saw that Trump wasn't going to save him. Right. But getting back to Paul Manafort's greed and stuff, Ted, when you have billionaires, matter of fact, he's got 2 billionaires, maybe 3 billionaires who were backing him up. And every time, and he had this Ukrainian thing that he had going on, man, was a cash cow. That the dictator over there, that dictator and stuff and everything, he left that country with billions of dollars and everything. So Manafort was looking at, a big cash cow that was going to be bringing money and putting it into his pocket and stuff. And so that's why he felt that he could get away with this stuff and everything, that he wasn't going to get caught. And he was hoping, because as we know and stuff now, he was the last one of the people and stuff there around Trump who would have been indicted and everything who have came forth and everything and turned state's evidence and stuff on whatever information that they can provide to Mueller's team about what happened and stuff in the
But think about this, though.
Trump's empire.
Think about this. Here's a guy that was well known, that was doing work for several past presidents, doing something. And he goes overseas and brokers a few countries to make money. He runs into these oligarchies that's billionaires, and it must have told him, said, well, what we really want you to do, we want you to go into 45's camp. Tell him you'll work for free. He'll see your resume, you praise him, and I want you to help him win this deal, do some things and convince him that the Russians are good people and we want to work with you. And so he, in turn, went there, did that, showed his resume. 45 was impressed, and he let him know how many people he knew and all of that, and I can hook you up. And he did exactly that. He hooked them up with the Russians. He hooked them up with the oligarchs. He hooked them up with Putin. I mean, how you gonna have all those Russians visit the White House and they in your campaign arena and all that kind of stuff? If something wasn't going on and 45 didn't know anything about it, he might have been naive enough, but I don't believe that at all.
I think, Ted, that when all of this stuff comes out, and Mueller's going to eventually lay out the whole plan that happened, I believe in stuff that Trump already was involved in stuff with those Russians and stuff, and that Manafort and stuff came over to create that link between the Russian folks and the Trump campaign. And he was that link and stuff, and I'm pretty sure that Putin, some of the Russians had already contacted Trump and said, hey, we're going to send this guy over here. You put him into some kind of powerful position and everything to where we can help facilitate what's going on. Mm-hmm. And that's what he did. He came over there and facilitated that thing. I think that thing about him taking the job for a little or nothing and everything was just a ploy and stuff to let people to as a front and everything to it, that Trump wasn't actually involved in that thing. But I believe that Trump was there involved in the whole thing. He knew that this stuff was coming. He asked them to help, and they sent him over there as a facilitator and everything and stuff for it. So it's gonna be, I think there's a lot more to what happened with Manafort and what happened with Trump that's going to be coming out. And I'm pretty sure that Manafort, and for what the agreement and stuff is, Ted, this man is giving away everything. He's doing meetings and stuff with Mueller's people and stuff, and he is not even asking for a counsel, an attorney to be there in these meetings. What kind of fool would sit there and Mueller is a very, very, people don't realize it, but a lot of people do, but a lot of people don't realize this man is a very, very, very smart person and stuff and everything. He has had an investigation and stuff and everything that is, man, it is so sophisticated that these people out there who are trying to stop the thing, because this man is so tight and stuff, as far as how he's kept this investigation going with all those people around him and stuff and everything trying to destroy his investigation. He is continuing, he's single-minded, and he is developing huge sums of information and stuff and everything. And I'm pretty sure that when this thing comes out, it is going to be so devastating and stuff that they cannot not impeach or Trump for what the heck he's done, and along with a lot of folks and stuff in his family.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm not disagreeing with nothing you said, but I don't, and that's a good step by step. However, this is my opinion. I think Mueller has so much stuff that's devastating to this country, the things that's been going on. He's found so much stuff, so many Republicans, probably Democrats as well, that is involved in this thing, that he doesn't want to destroy the country. Now, he knows if he gets 45, his family, um, all of this stuff, other people and what have you, bringing them in the fold, because he's still got another 15, maybe 20, 30 people that he's going to indict, you know? I mean, it's some people that he's been calling out, you know, that information goes out, you know, somebody gets that information before he actually does something. They say it ain't no leaks, but it is leaks out there going, because they've already said they're gonna indict Stone. The Stone waiting on it. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying.
Well, Ted, you have to look at the situation itself and everything, and the natural flow of what's going on and everything is there. It's a natural flow that he is going to do this. You know, they're looking at these people out there, and it's just naturally, because this man, they already know he's involved, so you know he's going to be getting indicted. So he's keeping his stuff very tight, Ted. I'm telling you, you cannot keep an investigation as tight as he's kept his investigation.
All right, okay.
It's not. It's very tight, but. And you're right. He's got some more people out there, but those people are in the natural flow of what's going on. And a lot of these people already knew these folks and stuff were out there, were bad players and stuff out there, and that he's eventually going to touch upon them. But he's also had some things and stuff that he's quietly done, like Trump's lawyer. This man has been talking to Trump. You find out, 6 months later, that he'd been talking to Trump's lawyer since January of this year, and nobody knew about it. And this is Trump's own lawyer that he's talking to, and he's giving him information and stuff and everything. He's quietly done that. Yeah.
Who, by the way, resigned.
Yeah, but he's still there because he's waiting until he gets this knucklehead confirmed into the Supreme Court. But once that happens and stuff, he's going to be gone and stuff and everything, because he realizes that his usefulness and stuff there in Trump's empire and his administration and everything is quickly waning, and he doesn't want to become involved in the mess that's getting ready to come down on this man. And as you notice, there's a lot of people, man, who are abandoning the White House, and they're leaving and stuff in droves.
Please, they've been doing that since day one.
Yeah, you get there and you realize that you want to do service for your country, and then you realize that this man is a buffoon that you're trying to work for, and you trying to keep your career going or whatever. This man is destroying everything around him. And you're hoping that maybe he's going to help you out and you get this and stuff done. But he is just, and how you find out, Ted, that these other people around, these Republicans and everything, are just following this man in lockstep and allowing him to do this thing. You look at Paul Manufort. He sit down there, and at first he's congratulating this man is a solid, he ain't doing nothing, all that. And now all of a sudden, since Paul Manufort and turning state's evidence on him and everything, Giuliani running around the country now and doing interviews and saying, well, he can't hurt him. So all this stuff and everything, Ted, and you're right, it could be devastating to the country and stuff, but Mueller has an obligation as a professional a jurist and stuff and everything to tell the truth.
Well, that might be true.
And I believe that he has to, no matter what, and allow the country itself to decide what the heck to do.
Well,
and that's what he's going to do.
The point is that when you have a solid, this man's got a solid following of 30% of the voting population, solid. Mm-hmm. And no matter what he does, what he says, whatever, they're going to stick by his side. Mm-hmm. However, this is the main thing, because when you're talking millions and millions of people that will follow this man right to the ditch. So the point is that That's a lot of people. And then you got a certain percentage that can erupt to violence. So now the thing is that not only is Manafort, I mean not Manafort, but Mueller is have to deal with that part of it. He's probably talking to a lot of the other upper professionals that's in security, thinking, how can we bring out all of this? By him being an ex-FBI, head and all of that, this is the thing that they're looking at. What kind of devastation is that going to bring? And there's nothing that this man can say or do for these people to turn their back on him. Just realize that he's a con man, that he's a crook, he's a liar. I mean, I'm not saying anything that's not true. That's all I'm saying, because he is a con man, he's a liar, and he's a crook. I mean, a lot of the stuff that he's done, some of the stuff that's been open is been above board. When you're talking about a TV show, that was above board. That was a good living for him. Some of his real estate now is questionable, but most of it is legit. Now, all these other businesses that he had, a lot of them failed. So, I mean, he had Trump Wine, Trump Magazine, Trump NFL, I mean, or football thing. He had Trump steaks, all of that stuff, So, I mean, this man is well known, he's well loved. And hey, more power to him, I mean, but the point is, he's not good for the country as far as I'm concerned, because see, the one thing that is growing across the world, and this is our next topic. Do you realize that there are over 70 million people that have been displaced because of war, famine, just in the last few years? I mean, these immigrants are going wherever they can go. Spain, they're trying to get in Israel. They're trying to go all over the world. It's so many misplaced people. It's a sad thing. All of these wars in Yemen, they got all kinds of wars everywhere. And the news people don't report on these things, man. They don't report on them. And it is so devastated, man. I mean, people's lives is upending. And here we are. We got hurricanes. We got this. We got that. We got some violent crimes in certain areas that's really bad. But you got almost a whole country. I'm talking about population-wise that have just they're leaving in groves, man. They're getting on boats, raggedy boats, going on the ocean. Can you imagine going on a rowboat, trying to go in the ocean to go to another country? And you got to go miles and miles and miles. I mean, this is devastating, man. And that's just like people that, when you walk down the street, you see a homeless person, they ain't got no place to live. So it's so many people, man. And here we are, people coming into this country, trying to get into this country because they're fleeing, and our doors are shut. Our doors are completely shut. They spending billions of dollars trying to keep these people out, instead of trying to set up some kind of program to help these people, because you're not doing anything over there and helping these people, and you're cutting off money to help fund these people so that they can stay in their own country. So I don't know. It's crazy, man. And this, they say that this country is supposed to be Christian. Is that the Christian thing to do? I don't know. It don't sound like, to me, that's Christian to me. Even if you don't want them to stay, at least you can sort of kind of assist them to try to help them, because these are taxpayer dollars that they're spending, keeping these people out, housing these people, billions of dollars, spending, I don't know how many billions of dollars for the border and the wall, when they can invest that money and help these people, because you got countries, man. Venezuela right now is broke. You know, all over the world, man. It's a mess. It's a mess.
Well, Ted, you throw a whole lot of crap on the wall here. A lot of crap.
No, it all intertwines, bro.
Well, I have a not a totally different view, but I have a viewpoint and stuff on what you're talking about, and I guess you're looking at immigration and what's going on, and I understand that there are problems and stuff in these Central American countries where the people and stuff are being the gangs and the crooks and everybody is taking over these countries and everything, and they're running their population and stuff out of their country. But you also have other countries and stuff there in Central America and stuff that are very stable and stuff right now. So why aren't those countries and stuff that they are passing through taking these people and stuff in as they're going through their country? And they happen to they're trying to get here into the United States. In some ways and stuff, I can understand the Trump administration and also the Obama administration. They were involved in this thing too. We're not going to let BO and stuff out of this. He has something to do with that also, stopping people from coming into this country illegally. Well, then you get back to what you're talking about, the humanitarian thing of what has happened and stuff. Why isn't our country and Mexico and some of these other stable countries and stuff in Central America getting together, just like the people over there in Europe have gotten together for the Syrians and stuff who have left their country and stuff, and like you said, gotten into these oceans and stuff and trying to get into Italy and Spain and to Germany and all these other European Union countries and stuff over there. Well, they've gotten together and they understand that they have a problem and that these people are trying to get into their country. So they have quotas and stuff and everything that they have set up for each country, and they share the immigrants that's coming inside of their countries. Germany has a quota and stuff there they have. France has a quota for them to come into their country. Spain has a quota. Italy has a quota and stuff allowing these people to come into their countries. And even the UK and stuff in some way and stuff have been involved into that quota system and stuff where they allow people who have come through wars and stuff and been and they're trying to escape this devastation so they can come into their country. So I'm asking this question and stuff, why can't the United States also do the same thing? You talk with those countries and stuff that these people are passing through to get to the United States illegally and find out why they aren't stopping in these countries or why these countries are not accepting some of these illegal folks and stuff who are coming out. And also join up and everything to figure out how they can stop the devastation, the crime and stuff that's going on inside these countries and stuff and everything that are driving these people away. And Venezuela is one of them, just that you just brought up. They have a problem there, and the United States are trying to come down there and tell them what the heck to do. And these people saying, "Hey, you can't tell us what to do, and you got problems in your own country."
Absolutely, and that's right.
But there could have been some kind of a way where they can come in and do something and stuff to help the Venezuelan country, because Venezuela has a natural resource and stuff, Ted, that a lot of these nations and stuff around the world want, and that's oil. So you have a vested interest and stuff in going into Venezuela and stabilizing that country and letting them come back instead of telling them that we're going to stop you and put an embargo on their oil. Their oil is an income and stuff for those people there. So you are creating this devastation by putting an embargo on Venezuela's oil.
Well, the whole purpose is so that some corporation come in there and take over. You know, that's the whole agenda. Everywhere they go, you know, these oil people, you know, they do that. They did it in Chad. You know, that's what they do. They go in there and they devastate the area or destroy the government or pay off people, you know, to not do the right things for the people, and then turn around. And as soon as the country goes down or they need big money, then these oil people come in and buoy up their community to certain people. So, you know, I mean, they don't help all the people, they're just certain people. So the point is that corporations, man, these major international corporations run this world. They run it. They go into these politicians and they buy them off. They pay off these lobbyists. These corporations, man, all they are about is paying for helping their shareholders and helping their own pockets to make them as much money as they can for themselves and for their shareholders. Corporations run this country, man, and they run everything else as far as what we buy, what we eat, you know, all of that kind of thing. And I'm not saying corporations are bad or all corporations are bad. You know, Bezos, one of your favorite CEOs,
Bezos, Jeffy boy,
Jeffy boy, he was shamed. He was shamed by Sanders. I guess Sanders been harping on him so bad he ended up putting $2 billion into a foundation.
Yeah, to help people who are homeless.
That are homeless and to help education.
And he got the money, you know, that billion dollars was a drop in the bucket for him,
yeah,
man.
$2 billion drop in the bucket.
He'll make that back in 6 months.
Less than that probably. So you know,
it didn't hurt him, you know, but however Sanders got him to do it is great that he did turn around.
Yeah, he was trying to shame him.
Because some people that are trying to be shamed and stuff still don't do anything, but at least he did something. And whether he was shamed or whether he did it on his own or whatever, he did it, and he's putting $1 billion and stuff out there to help people.
$2 billion.
I heard it was $1 billion. I heard it was $1 billion, but
I've been reading $2 billion all week. I
heard it was $1 billion. I read it was $1 billion he put out. But anyway, that's beside the point. He did put some money and stuff out there to help the homeless people to get we're homeless families, because it really actually was for the children to go to school.
Let me just say this, man. I'm serious. Have anybody ever came up to you and said, hey Ed, here's $1 million, $2 million. I need you to go out and help some people. Have anybody did that to you?
Well, the likelihood of them doing that and everything is nil.
If you gave me $1 billion, I can help 1 million businesses that would provide probably 3 or 4 million jobs in the urban community. These people give out money like it's going out of style, and all they're doing is paying people's salaries, and they helping just a few people, and that's it. I mean, classic example is what they did when Bill Gates gave $100 million to the School of Education in Hillsborough County. And where is that money? $100 million he gave. So what I'm saying is that the bottom line is that these people giving money to people that's not going to really help the people. And they're only going to help just a few.
I guarantee you that Jeffy, your boy, with that $1 billion or $2 billion or whatever you said to get out there to help these folks, are going to help people and stuff do that.
Yeah,
Jeffy ain't the kind of person and stuff to just throw his money and stuff down there and then let these people rip him off. He's not going to do that. He doesn't have a history of doing that. He holds people responsible for what's going on. Now, Bill and Melinda Gates and stuff, their whole thing is to just throw money at a problem, and they've been doing this stuff for decades. They throw money at a problem and hoping that it goes away, hoping that it'll filter down to the people and stuff who need it. And we all know that any charity and stuff out there, including the Red Cross and all the other folks and stuff, the money that goes into those people's coffer, at least 50 or 60% of that goes into administrative costs, into these executive pockets and their people and stuff who are
their
out there
expenses and all
before
that kind of stuff to live
before
a
it
lavish life and
before
have
it
luncheon
gets to
dates.
the people who need it. And it's been going on for years and years and years. I'm still looking at, and I'm still upset with Bill Clinton and stuff with this Haiti daggone thing, because they allowed him and his conglomerate, the Clinton Initiative or whatever, to have almost $6 billion to give to these people in Haiti when they had that earthquake that totally destroyed that country and stuff. And we still don't know where that $6 billion and stuff went.
Yeah, and then I read some articles talking about it was only like a few houses that were built and
That's
all
it.
that craziness, and and then they still buoy his butt up like he's some great president. Give me a break. He was an empty suit. That's what he was, as far as I'm.
Took their money from them black folks and stuff and everything,
Yeah.
and they kept it quiet. They're trying to bring it up. It quietly goes away. Nobody says anything about it, and he's sitting around there still begging people and stuff to give money to the Clinton Initiative. He got his daughter out there working for his foundation. She's sitting out there and everything, give to the Clinton Initiative and everything because they do it. Bill put that money out there and gave that money to his friends and whoever it was and stuff and everything, and they took that money and they cleaned them people out, and all those people who are still, and to the day, Ted, almost 5 or 6 years later, they still got these tent communities and stuff there, and these people aren't doing anything.
When you talk about Bill Clinton, man, it just makes me upset because he's the one that did the 3 strikes and you out, put thousands and thousands of black men in jail. He didn't, he's the one that really cut off the welfare to spite your nose, just put people out in the street, basically, and cut welfare for people that needed the money, really needed it. Of course, you're going to have some people abuse it, but for the most part, those people needed that money. And, cut a whole lot of stuff. I mean, he cut so much stuff, it was just ridiculous from poor people. And, and then do this. And that's why I say, I don't see why they sit up here and keep on parading him around like he's some kind of great white hope, I mean, it's
well,
ridiculous.
he like I said to you
and
the
then,
other
like
day,
I said, the only reason why I would have voted for Hillary, I voted for Hillary because I knew that 45 would be worse. So I just had to hold my nose and vote for her ass. Don't get me upset.
But we time and our spiritual being and stuff has did his job on Bill. Now you look at Bill and he ain't in too good of a shape and stuff now mentally. So anyway, Wednesday, our next show coming up Wednesday. I'm gonna say this to the audience. And I'm going to say that to everybody who listened to this recorded version. You need to come out and make it a special point to listen to our next show that's coming up on Wednesday evening. We're going to have a special guest that's coming on. Man, I can't say enough about Sister Anise Lillard and what she means to us and what she means to the community and stuff that we came from. Is going to be a very, very interesting show. We're only going to have it about an hour, but I'm pretty sure it's going to last longer than that because Anise has a lot to say about what is going on. She's putting together a documentary concerning my childhood hometown, and she is doing a lot of things and stuff out there, and we are supporting her wholeheartedly, and we may have to do a part 2.
Absolutely.
We don't know.
And she's a woman of God and very spiritual person, and I think she has a mission, and she's going to do that mission. And I'm looking forward to listening to her talk about her documentary and the things that's on her mind and on her heart. So I look forward to that. And she's going to be doing most of the talking. I'm going to keep my big mouth shut.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Don't even say that, Ted. You ought not tell our audience that you're going to keep your mouth shut because you know you're not. Because we all know that she's going to hit on some very, very touchy subjects and stuff that is near and dear to us both.
Yeah.
and
It's gonna be hard to shut up, man. But
it's gonna be hard. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be hard, man, because I know a niece and everything, and she's and people, you guys are gonna enjoy what's getting ready to happen. And I'm hoping that after this show and stuff, that probably a Saturday or following Wednesday or something, we can get Dean on, her husband.
Yes.
Dean is something special. He is a past school administrator. He's been principals and stuff of schools in the Chicago area and also in the Atlanta area.
You know, he a bad man.
He is a bad man, and he is a religious person also. He believes in God, and God guides both of their lives and stuff today, and it continues to do. They're a very integral part of their church. They're always doing things and stuff for it. Some of them teach Sunday school. So it's they have a thing going on, and both of them support each other. They been together for a long time, and they truly support each other financially, spiritually, and emotionally. Support each other for whatever's going on. And anytime Ann wants to do anything, her husband is right there with her, supporting her, no matter what the heck it is. And I've watched them over the years and stuff do this. And we had our class reunions and everything. Dean was right there with his wife, even though it wasn't his school that was going on, but Dean was right there with him. When Dean's mother got sick, Ann was right there to help him in his time of troubles and everything, to get their parents and stuff and everything taken care of while they were sick and after they had passed on. So it's been a total support. Ann doesn't work. Dean didn't want her to work, and he finally retired and stuff now, and he's out still doing his thing and everything, and doing what he positive things in the community. He's starting to get into the electoral process, the political arena and stuff now, and kind of dip his toes into that. But how far he's going to do that, I don't know. But he's looking to do that and stuff to become.
We're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we can get Dean on. If we can't, we can't. We just.
Oh yeah, he can get him on. He will come on. He likes to talk.
We'll see. We'll see. One of the things that we should talk about, I mean, we're going to talk about a couple of things, but then at the end, we only got like another 5 or 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that there's a possibility of a government shutdown, and there is a possibility that these taxes are going to devastate this country.
They've already started.
Yeah,
tax cut has already started. It's not. It started.
Yeah, and so these people, where are they going with this? Because the revenue going to be coming in? Is the revenue from these corporations? Is the revenue going to be coming in for the workers? Because that's what pays the bills. Taxes pays the bills. So if they're cutting taxes to the bone, you know what they're going to do? They're going to try to come after your Medicare, your Social Security, Medicaid, public housing. They're going to come after all kinds of things, and this is their whole thing. So what we are trying to tell you, listeners, those people out there to hear this, go vote. Vote for your interests. Now, a lot of you all are not on those types of things, and you're just out there working. It says not your concern, but eventually you will be. You will be. Let me tell you, because this thing is serious, and this will devastate a lot of people, because these people are trying to get down to zero taxes. They're privatizing everything. So, and then this threat to the government shutdown, I mean, that's going to come to pass. It's going to be a big thing, big thing, because that can hurt a lot of people too. And let them do it for more than a month, then we're really in trouble.
Well, to tie all this stuff in, Ted, the reason why you brought up the debt, you brought up the taxes, and you brought up the early voting, all of those kind of tie in together.
Oh, yeah.
And the early voting and stuff comes with trying to get your representation and stuff into the Congress, into where the political process and stuff happens, where that money and stuff involved with the debt, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid and stuff all happens. And you need to have some representation at the table and stuff who are looking after your
with
interests
power,
and stuff.
with power.
Yeah, and not be sitting there and stuff and waiting on that check to come in because some lobbyists came there and said, hey, you need to vote on this, you need to vote on that. And we know this is happening and stuff, whether you're Democrat or Republican and stuff, all of them are doing the same thing. There's so much money there in Washington, D.C., it's a crying shame. But with this debt showdown that's coming up and everything, we have to make sure that the money is not just given to private entities and stuff and everything, that there is some money and stuff that's going into Planned Parenthood, that there is money and stuff going into Medicare and Medicaid and stuff and affordable housing and stuff that's out there. And you can't keep cutting off these people and stuff, these poor people in education and running them away and stuff and everything, and creating a class of people and stuff and everything that can't survive. You're going to have the same thing going on in this country that you had there, along with the big tax cut that the Republicans passed. They passed this daggone thing without no Democratic votes, whether they're in the House or the Senate. They got that thing through and passed it, and portrayed it as a tax cut for the people of this country. But it was mainly when you cut the tax rate from 40% down to 20% for corporations, and then falsely tell people that you're going to enjoy some things that's going on because of that, then excuse me, then find out that the money that these people, the taxes that have been cut and everything, they haven't given to the people. They went and did stock buybacks, or they put money in the executives' pockets and stuff and everything, so they can go out and buy yachts and more planes, private planes and stuff for themselves, and
bigger houses,
and bigger houses that they have or whatever. And their money has not reached down to the people and stuff who actually are making these companies and stuff successful. And you touched upon that with Jeff Bezos and Amazon, how you got, and he's not the only one that's doing that, but he's got employees and stuff sitting down on his floor, and they're operating in less than poverty wages and stuff and everything that they can't live off of. And they are the ones and stuff and everything who are putting pressure on the system and everything, because they don't have enough money. So they need food stamps so they can feed their family. They need subsidized housing and stuff, Section 8 and everything, because they can't pay $1,000 a month rent and stuff, so their children and stuff can have a place to stay at, or they can't go out and take care of their children and make sure they have a proper education and stuff, because they're spending all of their time and stuff trying to work and keep some clothes on their children's backs,
working
or whatever.
2 or 3 jobs.
Working 2 or 3 jobs. So you can't go out and be involved in stuff with your children's education and making sure that they're okay, or leaving these children at home and stuff to take care of themselves because you can't afford a babysitter and all that. So it is a horrible thing. And then also you're looking at the most vulnerable portion of your society, and that's your children who can't take care of themselves, and your senior citizens who are involved with Medicare and Medicaid,
medication,
and
prescription drugs,
and affordable prescription drugs and everything that we talked about early, Ted. That was a big problem.
That is a big problem. Hey, we got about 2 more minutes, and one of the things that I want to talk about is feelings and emotions. And the thing that you wanted to talk about was our community today, yesterday, and tomorrow. I'll go first, you go last, and then I guess we got to wrap it up.
Go ahead.
Check this out. So I'm looking at a program the other day, one of my favorite motivational speakers, and can't even remember his name right now, sorry. But anyway, this guy made a whole lot of sense, Ed. if I'm driving down the street, no, I use this example. He used this example. He said, if I'm on the beach, what am I thinking about? And the thing is, most of the time, people on the beach, they're thinking about their job, or they're thinking about what they got to do at work, or if they're not enjoying the beach. When they're at work, what are they thinking about? They're thinking about the beach, wishing that they was on the beach. So the point is that you have to be in the now. You have to enjoy where you are. If you're at work, enjoy now. Enjoy that work. Enjoy what you're doing. Appreciate what you're doing. Live in the now. When you go on vacation, go on vacation. Don't be thinking about all the stuff you got to do and you didn't do or you should have done. Live in the now. To me, that's, and really that's what I do. I mean, if I'm at the gym, I'm enjoying the gym. Now, right now, when we leave here, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to enjoy that gym. But right now, I really don't feel like going. But I'm going to enjoy that gym for now. And every person I meet or talk to or whatever, I'm going to enjoy their company. So we have to live in the now and enjoy your life, because emotions and feelings are real. Because if you're thinking about one thing and you at another place to enjoy it, to be happy, then you're not really being happy, because you're not enjoying the moment. When you're driving down the street, what are you thinking about? Are you enjoying the drive and just appreciating the drive? And if you're listening to music at the same time, are you really enjoying that? Or are you thinking about all the other things that you got to do? You got to live in the now. And the one way to do that, really, to be honest with you, is with God. Have a God sort of presence. And then you can live in the now. But if you don't have a God sort of presence, you sort of kind of always thinking about all kind of other craziness, or that person didn't treat me right or whatever. And that's the reason why people, they cut in front of you or they give you the finger and all that, because they thinking about other stuff. I got to get here and I got to get there. Anyway, that's my thing. Live in the now.
Okay, well, you've already exhausted all my time, Ted, so I'm not going to even get into my thing.
Oh, come on, man. Come on in. I
Our
got to hear you.
community. Well, this thing that I wanted to bring up about our community today, yesterday, and tomorrow, it is a huge thing that I want to talk about. And just talking about today is going to take up a lot of time. Talking about what happened yesterday in our community is going to take up a lot of time. And what's going to happen tomorrow and stuff is going to take up a lot of time. So in our next show, after Wednesday show and stuff, I'm going to have some big information about what happened in our community, what happens in our community yesterday, and what's going to happen in there today. And then we'll deal with tomorrow and stuff later. But this is a big project and stuff that I want to get started on, to have our viewers and stuff who are mostly urban folks, our folks and stuff who are listening to this show, to look at your community and stuff today, and look at, if you're an older person and stuff, then you have to look in the past and stuff and everything as to what happened in the past, and are you making progress today, and where you and where you're going to be at tomorrow in the future. Are you making plans for the future? And we talk about that all the time with our businesses and stuff and everything, that if you're going to be successful, you have to have a business plan. So why not have a business plan for your life also, as to what you are going to be doing and stuff tomorrow, and how you are going to be a valuable resource and everything for your community. And that yesterday thing and stuff, we just like you talk about being on the beach and being in the now and stuff, you have to also look back and what happened in the past and stuff, and make sure that you have progress. A lot of us and stuff, we get so involved in stuff and what's happening to us today, that we forget about where we came from, our yesterdays. We came from a long way, and we have progress. We have to look at that progress and stuff. You can't go through life and stuff and everything and not find out where you came from and where and how you progress and how you've done better. And if you're just looking at today and I'm saying and be down and depressed and everything that's going bad is going bad, well, look back behind you and stuff and say, hey, there have been some good times that I've had and reminisce over those good times and everything, and that today thing will almost take care of itself, and then your progress and stuff into tomorrow, what you're going to be doing a year or two down the road. Now, we all may not live that long, but at least plan and make a good plan for tomorrow. So looking at our community, I today and stuff, I looked at the city of Detroit up north there and what their community and stuff is doing now. Detroit was devastated, man, and the automobile crisis and stuff was going on. I mean, the city was almost totally destroyed, but you have people and stuff now in the community who are.
Thank you, Obama.
Yeah, we have people in the community now who are bringing forth ideas and stuff, Ted, like you talk about and everything, being innovative. There's a gentleman who started a urban farming thing and stuff where he's using some of that vacant land and stuff, and his house has been torn down, and the city had torn the houses down and allowed him to use those lots and stuff and everything to grow vegetables and food and everything. So he's got a very nice plan and stuff for the community and stuff there. And some people are probably looking at him and say, "Oh, he's crazy," but he wants to have. He started this thing. He's growing things and stuff there and food and stuff for people to eat, but he wants to make sure that the city knows that he wants to keep this. That he don't want them to give them this stuff and everything, and then the next year and stuff to come up because somebody want to buy that land. And they turn around and sell the land and everything to these people so they can have residential housing or commercial development and stuff happen there. So, but he's got some positive things going on that we should be looking at. There could be a lot of things and stuff that are going positive. And maybe some of the other cities and stuff around the country who have the urban areas, who have the dilapidated homes and all this other stuff going on. Maybe you want to go out and put you a garden and stuff out there and grow some food or whatever. And become involved in stuff in your community. There's a lot of volunteerism and stuff that needs to happen. There's a lot of nursing homes. There are a lot of schools there that need people to come in and volunteer. A lot of these old people are sitting in these homes and stuff and everything, Ted, man. And if you walk into one of those places, man, it is so depressing. It is just horrible what is happening to our senior citizen.
Well, this right here, what you just said is absolutely right. And I think the word is solidarity.
Mm-hmm.
People need to start coming together and really, doing things, and, get out of those four walls of the church, these younger people, and get out there and like you just said, volunteer and just, make it better for people's lives,
Absolutely.
Find a way, be innovative.
Find a way, because there's a lot of things that you can do. And we talk about a lot of those things and stuff here on our show. And they may seem like it's so bad and everything. You look at the city of Chicago and you got all those killings going on and there's killings going on all over in the urban areas. Gangs are doing this, but somebody has to do something. And you can't always depend upon the government to do that. You have to go in and be proactive and stuff. And you're right. The churches and stuff need to get out of those four walls and get out there on those streets and do something.
And not to say that a lot of them aren't doing that, but what I'm saying is we need more.
And a lot more.
Yeah, yes. A lot more. So, and I think people are woke now. I think everybody realizes now that playtime is over.
That's our community. This is our community, people. This is our community. And even if you don't live in that community, come in and volunteer your time, do something. Everybody can volunteer some time. if it ain't nothing but an
And
hour.
then, here's the thing, though. A lot of people are so residential protective. They so protective. Other people come in the community, they bring in ideas and they want to help and make things better. And then the so-called natives, they get resentful.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same thing, I'm just being real. And
Yep.
same thing when they come from another state or another part of the country, they come in and they might get a promotion or better job than them when they apply for the same job.
Mm-hmm.
So, that kind of thing, and I don't know.
Those things happen, Ted. Those things happen. And if you want to be a volunteer, you have to learn how to be a volunteer. And a volunteer means that you may have to shut your mouth and do what the community wants you to do. Even though you might not like what they're asking you to do, just go ahead and do it and be helpful and sit down there. And if the person and stuff in that group and everything say, hey, let's go out here and shovel up the streets and everything and get us a garbage can and get you some gloves on. We're going to shovel up in the streets and get garbage off the street. Then do that. If you want to volunteer, and do the things that the community and stuff thinks that they need. Now, that means getting your hands dirty. Get your hands dirty. Take off your suit, off your tie. Take off your nice Nike gym shoes and everything, and put you on some old stuff and everything, and some old dirty pants on and everything, and get you some gloves out there and get out there and pick up trash and stuff off the street if that's what they want you to do. Because you're volunteering your time.
I totally agree to that, and I hope that.
And you saw me mention them Nikes. that was a dog whistle there, that Nike, because of Colin Kaepernick and the Nike ads and stuff going on there, and how they have backed him up and everything through his protests and stuff in the National Football League. And I've noticed already that Nike says they think they did the right thing because people are buying their shoes now. They're making money off of that.
And their stock is high as ever been.
Yeah. Hey, so, a lot of times when you back people up, and I know there were some people out there who denigrated Nike and everything, but they stood by that man. And because they stood by him, and
they just stood by a lot of.
Yeah, they're reaping. Yeah, they're reaping that money. So anyway, there's a lot of other things going on, people out there in this world and in our community and everything. I mean, lots and lots and lots of things. And our Ted and Ed TV channel, we're here to fill that gap because, you go on national media, they're not going to be talking about our community. They're going to be talking about national stuff, what's going on nationally. And they may bring in a local show or whatever, or something that's going on in a local community, but it's not a lot. So we're talking about our community and stuff now, taking care of the people in our community. And if you keep coming back and listening to us, we're going to continue to talk about our community. If you got some ideas, let us know. So anyway, we will see you guys and stuff on Wednesday evening at 7:00. And I'm looking forward to having you guys to come in and maybe give us some comments. And we're going to be going on Facebook and Twitter and all the other folks and stuff and asking our followers to come in and look at our show live or recorded. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Hey baby, what you trying to do? Spent the night just trying to find you. You the hottest one under the sun, and I'm under your spell. We stuck just like glue. You ain't got the free crib, oh well. You and me can head to the hotel. Whatever we do, just don't tell. I don't need anybody all on my coattail. I feel your energy and I ain't trying to fight it. Your vibe is way too exciting. I know I'm who you want to ride with. Don't fake it, I know that you like it.
It's more than just emotions. I'm getting more emotions. All you gotta do is focus, not what you used to, but you like it. But you like it. Ooh, yeah. I've been out here looking for you. Just something special, man.
Get up on my roller coaster, get inside my air.